lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Heather, and this is the Happenings with H.A.P. So we are getting back into the swing of the booktube things, and I have a very short and sweet video today, and that is going to be my September TBR. As with last year, I'm kind of in the mood for like mysteries and little thrillers, you know, just kind of something to kind of whet my appetite for October and my Stephen King month, which is the plan for this year again. Because I'm still going to be working from home and not commuting as much, I'm only planning on talking about 3 books today because I think that's going to be doable in regards to me actually being able to finish these books. Typically I would do 4 or 5, but again, not having a commute really cuts down on audiobook reading time, and along with all the other stuff I have to do, I think this will be a nice doable amount for me. But they all sound really fun, and they just so happen to be BIPOC authors, which is really awesome. So without further ado, let's get into my September TBR. The first book on my list is Lost in the Neverwoods by Aiden Thomas. Aiden Thomas is trans and Latinx, and I really adored the first book of his that I read, which was Cemetery Boys, and it follows Wendy, who lives in the town of Astoria, which I believe is supposed to be in Washington State, where, if you've ever seen The Goonies, that's where that takes place. This is supposed to be 5 years after the disappearance of herself and her brothers, who went into the woods, and her brothers never returned. And at the start of the novel, there are 2 missing children in the town, and they've disappeared without a trace. Wendy has been having dreams and drawings of a boy who she's referred to as Peter Pan. So from my gathering of the synopsis, this is supposed to be a Peter Pan is real type of thing. However, I'm not sure if this Peter Pan is supposed to be as dark as J.M. Barrie Peter Pan, because if you've actually read Peter Pan is not the best character in the world. It's not the Disney version, let's just say. He kidnaps children, he starves them, and in theory he kind of kills them as they grow up. So like, Peter Pan is very problematic. So I'm not sure if he's supposed to be the villain in this or not. Based on the synopsis, it doesn't seem like it. However, that could be a red herring, as we all know. But essentially, the woods in Astoria are just not a place to be, and they are very dangerous, and these children are going missing, and Wendy must try to figure out why, in the hopes that whatever happened to her brothers doesn't happen to these other children. So if this mystery is anything like Cemetery Boys, I'm really gonna love this. It's not rated nearly as highly as Cemetery Boys, but I've just started it. I'm about 20 minutes into it. I'm doing the audiobook because it is the same narrator from Cemetery Boys. I'm not sure about what the overall representation of these characters are as well, but so far I'm liking it, and I'm really hoping to be surprised, and I'm really excited for the mystery involved and how this is going to be a very interesting retelling of the Peter Pan story. The next book on my list is Ace of Spades by Faridah Àbíké-Íyímídé. This one kind of came on my radar recently. One of the bookstagrams that I follow gave a really great review on it. This is a YA thriller. This book takes place in Nivea's private academy, which sounds like it's a boarding school, and if not a boarding school, then a very structured schooling system. It's about this anonymous character, Aces, who's starting to reveal the secrets of these students, and I'm assuming the mystery of who this character is. And the reason I got interested in this novel was just because the kind of many layers of classism and institutionalized racism that's involved in it, because Faridah is a Black woman. It just sounded very interesting, and that there is a major twist that happens that I literally know nothing about. As you can tell, I've only briefly read the synopsis and from the slight review that I got about it, so I was kind of already sold. Like, I don't want to know more because I feel like this is one of those, the less you know the better. But it follows these students in this school and trying to figure out, I guess it's kind of Gossip Girl-y in a way of like, you know, who is Gossip Girl? Obviously, the secret that Aces has on these students is something that could really actually destroy their lives. So obviously, it's something that they would want to solve before negative consequences happen to them. It just sounded really interesting, and I've heard nothing but great things. It has a great rating on Goodreads, so I'm super excited about this one. And I like the fact that I don't know anything about it. The last book on my list is White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson. Tiffany D. Jackson wrote one of my favorite books last year, Monday's Not Coming. Very dark, but very wonderful mystery with a twist. And this book seems to be just as much of a thriller. I feel like most of her books are thrillers. And it's coined as Haunting of Hill House meets Get Out as a YA thriller. So that's a lot to unpack. The last book that I read that was coined as like a Get Out type of retelling was When No One's Watching, and I had mixed feelings about that one, but I'm hoping with what I know from Tiffany D. Jackson's writing that this one will probably be better. Marigold is a part of a blended family. She has step siblings now, and they move to Cedarville on, I believe it's Maple Street, because those type of street names never have problems. And aside from the neighborhood itself, which is giving her bad vibes, she is experiencing very strange things with the house itself, including smells that only she can smell, things moving and missing, stuff like that. I don't know much else about this, and the cover is absolutely gorgeous, so I'm here for that. But this just sounds very interesting. I love both The Haunting of Hill House as well as Get Out, so I'm very curious where this is gonna go. And if it's anything like her previous novel that I read, which was definitely an unexpected twist of a mystery, then this is gonna be really good. And in fact, I'm ending this month on this book, which has a mix of the thriller as well as the spooky. I think it's going to be a really great transition into October for me, so I'm really excited to read this. This novel is not even out yet. It's going to be released on September 14th, so this is going to be a brand spanking new one for me, and I'm really excited about it. And yeah, I just think it's going to be a perfect like fall spooky read. And that's the list of the books that I'm going to be reading in September. Like I said, not much, but I'm really excited for them. We shall see how they go. I've not had the best reading year. I think I've had a lot of 3-star ranges this year, and then some books that I really loved and some I really didn't. So it's been a wide range this year. Typically, I'm very good at picking books that I like. So I'm hoping that these 3 will be on the higher range for me, but we shall see. You know, it's all in the journey of reading. Have you guys read any of these books? Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you're going to be reading this month, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!